As we approach the end of our first month on property, I seem to be devolving into a deep state of denial in which I honestly believe we might just pull this off. And I say this while currently having no running water, no septic, and still no solar. Though solar has been ordered, we're not masochists. Here at the end of the first month, I've also become acutely aware of something else. Us humans seem to just shed garbage. The waste we created in 1 month, even when trying to be conscious of it, is kind of insane. So we're off to locate and use the local landfill. Landfills are some of the oldest forms of actual waste management we have. Layering dirt over garbage with moisture at depths that allow the garbage to start breaking down seems pretty basic, but the practice didn't really take in the States until the 1940s. Back then we simply let it pile up or tossed it into open pits.
This city car is getting a lot of usage.
I know. City cars become our country car. Become our work truck, our tow truck, our hauling vehicle.
What's going on?
We are getting ready to go to the Humboldt County landfill for the Winnemucca Dome. The directions just say that it is on Winnemucca Mountain Road. So we're going to exit in that vicinity and drive up the road. And it's a landfill, so I'm guessing we're going to be able to see where specifically this thing is once we get close.
Oh, I'm sure.
But we'll see. There's my freaking oil pressure light again. What's that every morning?
Just regular trash.
Athena and I would both like to be as waste-free as we can moving forward, but right now it's a little like complaining the lifesaver is made of styrofoam while drowning. Yeah, you. Yeah, I'm watching you. In getting our stuff up here, we prioritized fitting everything into the 2 storages rather than making it accessible. So we're here today. We're going to be clearing out as much as we can out of the storage, reorganizing it a little bit as we put things back in, and taking out some of the tools we're going to be needing for the projects ahead. Right now we don't have anything on property to house our tools in, but next weekend my dad's sending up a trailer he salvaged. It'll be our solar shed plus starting storage once it arrives. And I kind of want to use it to test building a porch and cover before tackling the trailer. With our tools secured, we headed to the lumber yard for some supplies. Anyway, behind me is our pit. When Adam and I were making the road, we needed a lot of dirt to kind of even it out. And so rather than digging from all over, we just began digging out of this area here, and it eventually became this little pit. And at the time I remember thinking like, well, this could be eventually be the entrance to our root cellar, or we'll use it to house the generator. But there were just a myriad of other things that I thought that we could use this thing for potentially that made it okay to dig this, this very ugly hole right near where we were putting the trailer. So we do have a plan for housing the generator, but it's going to be up closer to where our well is. Now that we have solar on order, we know that the generator is going to be better served as a kind of a go-between. When we need to top off our batteries, then we plug it into our array. When we need it to run the well pump, it needs to be available, accessible in that area as well. So it's going to be migrating a little more southeast of here. So knowing that plan, we still have this pit. And we've been wanting to get our compost online. And we want to do it kind of at a scale that we can kind of manage at the beginning, but that we can slowly start to grow as we do and as the property does, because we're going to be needing a fair amount of soil to go into those greenhouses once we start getting those up. And just a reminder, the size of those greenhouses, and there are 2 of them at this size, are 25 by 40 feet by 16 to 18 feet high in the center. We need soil for those as well, so we want to get compost up and running now. With that in mind, what we're doing here today is leveling this out a little bit more. Right now it kind of dips down. It's got this almost roller coaster-like dip and rise, so we're going to level that out. We're going to flatten that back wall a little bit, maybe straighten out the edges of these walls a little bit so they're a little more angular and better cut. And then we're going to build in our composting bins, 3 of them, using the supplies that we got in town at Tallman's. Okay, well, let's get started. I need the back. Yeah. Cool. All right, so we're going to be putting in these posts for our compost bins. Generally, you need 3 bins. The first one is for the raw stuff that is like straight from the kitchen stuff into the first bin, right?
The first one is for layering. So you're going to do our greens and then our browns, which is dry stuff.
Okay.
And then once it sinks down, we move it to the second bin, and that's where it starts mixing. We start turning it, and it starts mixing and getting to that stage of becoming compost.
Got it.
Or once it's soil, it goes into the third bin.
Okay. What we're doing today is we're putting in the posts, and at Tallman's in Winnemucca, we were recommended this new product here, which is a Sika post fix. Okay, so we didn't show the first time for obvious reasons, in case I exploded it on myself or we had a bunch of problems. I just wanted to make sure that I understood this stuff before trying to film it at the same time. But now that I got a little grasp on it, I'm going to show the process of using this Sika post fix. So these are really meant to do 1 post, a box or a pack. But they're meant for like 4x8 posts or like railroad ties and things like that. So bigger posts sunk a lot deeper than we're sinking here. We're about 10 inches down. These are meant for, what did it say, 16 plus?
Oh, depth?
Yeah.
36 to 48.
Oh, 36 to 48 inches. So they're meant for a lot deeper. So what you do is you have these 2 halves here. These are separate composites or separate mixtures. They're separate chemicals. That's a good word. Okay. These are two separate pouches here. They're separate chemicals, and when they mix together, they cause a reaction that turns them into this expanding foam. So you roll up one like I'm doing here. And now once it gets tight here, I'm going to squeeze and it's going to burst into this other chamber. There it goes. Okay, so it burst into the other chamber. Now you, for 15 seconds, do this on your knee here. And as I'm doing this, I can feel inside these bags are warming up as the chemicals kind of have their reaction with each other. 13, I don't know, 14. That seems pretty good. You're supposed to do it for 15 seconds, but you know, I got my scissors here. And we're going to cut our edge. And now the first time we poured these things, we poured it strictly in the hole. But what you want to do is you want to get it on the beam because you want it to seal on the beam as well. So there's a good amount for the first one. Got more out of it this time than we did last time. Okay. So technically you're supposed to hold these in place for about 2 minutes as they do an initial cure. But we kind of pre-dug these holes and compacted some semi-wet dirt around the base of it to hold the poles into place so we could get more than one pole done with one bag. We only bought 3 bags for this. The bags are $15 a pop. Plus, this is a lot easier than mixing in the rock and water and scooping it out of the wheelbarrow. We'll see how these kind of form up here. So we'll get back to it bright and early tomorrow once these things have set, put the fence up, and finish this compost area up bright and early. Okay, it is just before 7 a.m. Last night at around 10 p.m. the generator decided to stop working. There is an overload light here that came on. Now it didn't have much of a load on it last night, so I'm not sure what overloaded it. And then after it did overload, I took out the cord, I turned off the battery, had it on reset for a while, left it for 15 minutes, came back out, tried to start it again, and it did the same thing. Now the propane tank's full, and I'm going to check the oil here. Last night was too dark to check. I mean, there's still oil. It's still the cleanest. Let's just see if last night made any kind of difference. Alright, so this is the air filter. There's not much to it, so I'll wash that. This is the cover for it. These two things go on here. This. Let's look up where the spark plug is. Come on. There we go. Okay. There's the spark plug there. Remove the spark plug with the included spark plug socket wrench. What's in of town, we'll get a new one of those. And then this is the spark arrestor here. So I will try that next if the spark plugs don't clean anything.
Our new tape measure.
No, I don't have the new tape measure. So the next step is to separate the pins. We're using the extra fencing from our fire pit with tie wire. Between it and the raw milled poles, it'll give the compost a great natural look. We want to do a roof and some doors as well, but this week is all about making the space usable so that we can begin incorporating it into our routine.
Tighten up a little bit, but
We do. Can we get back to each other?
I need a little bit more.
Go ahead. Pull.
Can you make it?
Huh?
Just coming through to inspect the work we've done so far. Yeah. We gotta work on front closures on a roof.
Doors and a roof.
Doors first.
Doors first for the dogs.
Yeah, we can start doing the pile as soon as we can keep the dogs out of it.
Yeah. Let's and see if the crate will work as a door. And we found time to upgrade the smaller entrance into the trailer. Dogs all needed easier access.
Do you mean to put the rug back?
As larger milestones loom, I try to keep focused on the small things. Establishing a routine. Meal plan on Monday, water trees on Wednesday, family dinner on Friday. Some of the neighbors have started coming by, each offering help or information. You know, part of the appeal of this lifestyle is the freedom that comes with isolation. But in moving to the middle of nowhere, I've found something I thought went extinct decades ago. Community.